crise migratoire, climat, terroriste. Tout ce chaos est fabriqué pour justifier le contrôle.
You will not be able to work if you do not have digital ID.
C'est officiel, on vit dans un épisode de Black Mirror. Pensez-y, nos données sont dans le nuage, nos souvenirs dans leur serveur. On nous a vendu un écran tactile pour remplacer le réel. On nous propose des gadgets de plus en plus petits. Mais au final, ils nous vendent pas des produits. Ils nous habituent au contrôle. Et on leur donne l'accès.
Biometrics, facial recognition. No one even knows it's there.
Si tu refuses, tu ne voyages plus.
Nothing I can do.
Si tu t'énerves, tu perds des points.
Call the fucking supervisor.
Okay, that's profanity.
No!
Ils sauront ce que tu penses avant même que tu le penses.
What you think, it's all just data. Data can be decoded using artificial intelligence.
Voilà le monde de demain. Regardez Gaza, ce n'est pas une guerre, c'est un projet immobilier. 38 pages publiées par le Washington Post pour transformer Gaza en Riviera technologique. Smart City et Data Center américain. Trump l'avait déjà montré dans ses vidéos. C'était pas une blague. Gaza est un prototype. Un test grandeur nature pour la reconstruction numérique du monde, parce que c'est ce qu'il prépare partout ailleurs. Un modèle de société connectée, où tout est numérisé et surveillé.
A system is being built where one digital ID will decide if you can eat, travel, work, or be locked out of life completely. Digital ID is not just another card in your pocket. It is a single identity linked to your face, your eyes, your fingerprints, your phone, even your behavior. One ID that connects your bank account, your healthcare, your education, your travel, and even your voting rights. On the surface, it sounds simple. One ID for everything. But in reality, it is the key to a system where every part of your life can be tracked, monitored, and controlled. Without a digital ID, life, as you know, will simply stop. You won't be able to work. You'll be locked out of your bank. Healthcare will be denied. Travel will be restricted. And your voice, silenced online.
And I've explained that if you sign up for digital ID, it'll be the last really important decision you make, because your digital ID will be the only thing that your governments, institutions, and anybody authorized by those holding power will recognize you through. So you won't exist anymore. You'll be replaced by a QR code. You are not a number. You're an address to some resources. And that makes it particularly dangerous because those resources can be edited. And one of those fields, for sure, will be your vaccination status. And I'm absolutely sure, because I've seen it written down in multiple documents, that your digital ID will only remain valid if you comply with the conditions of validity. So one of them will be, have you had your latest recommended or mandated jabs? And because of the fact that I'm qualified in toxicology and worked for decades with others in what's called rational drug design, when I look at these jabs, the constituents, I am certain, formally certain, that they were designed to hurt you. And so, the digital ID will lose validity unless you roll your sleeve up. You must see that's designed to injure and, I believe, ultimately kill.
Criticize the government. Your account is frozen. A single flagged comment, a single report, and the system marks you. No appeals, no paper forms, just automated flags and instant freezes. Your salary stops, your bills bounce, your name becomes a number in a locked database. Miss a scheduled vaccine or booster, healthcare restricted. Medical care becomes conditional on compliance. Miss one required entry in your profile and access to certain treatments or priority services is limited. Your health becomes permission-based.
This issue to do with the technology and the digital infrastructure, I just want to emphasize how important I think that is. Because in the end, you need the data. You need to know who's been vaccinated and who hasn't been. Some of the vaccines that will come on down the line will be there'll be multiple shots. So you've got to have, for reasons to do with the healthcare more generally, but certainly for a pandemic or for For vaccines, you've got to have a proper digital infrastructure, and many countries don't have that. In fact, most countries don't have that.
Post the wrong thing online, your social credit score drops. Every post, every like, every share feeds an algorithm. Scores fall, privileges vanish. Travel too much, blocked from traveling. Patterns of movement are monitored. Frequent trips flagged as risk behavior can trigger restrictions.
They didn't go broke, they got deleted. In China, tens of thousands of young people are suddenly homeless, not because of money, but because the system erased them.
Imagine a society where everything you do, everything you say, and everything you buy is controlled and evaluated by the authorities. This is what the Chinese Communist Party calls social credit.
By using the mechanism of social credit, we'll be able to establish a blacklist of people and create a system of punishment that will be based on a scientific theory. These punishments will serve as a whip to rebuild moral values. Our society needs it.
The country's social credit system decides who's trustworthy. But if you're blacklisted, it's game over. Your WeChat Pay stops working, you can't receive your salary, can't buy food, can't even book a train ticket. It's like being alive, but digitally. Many are now sleeping in the streets, cut off from everything. Jobs, housing, even communication. All because one app, one algorithm decided they don't belong.
It's not science fiction. In China, it's a reality. Then there's the public shaming. Photo galleries of blacklisted citizens. There's even an app that shows who around you is in debt.
They're not criminals. They didn't steal, cheat, or harm anyone. They just fell too low on a score and vanished from the digital world. Critics say it's a glimpse into the future, where technology doesn't just track your life, it controls it. So ask yourself, if your entire life depended on your digital reputation, how long before you get deleted?
This is not distant speculation. It is a design principle. Every point is a function of the same architecture, one interoperable identity, centralized databases, automated decision engines, and incentives that reward compliance. It does not need an army to control millions, only systems that turn life's essentials into permissions.
And this isn't just theory. It's already happening in different parts of the world. In China, millions of people are living under the social credit system.
If you go to China, they're piloting it a few years ago in Shenzhen. So I lived overseas. If you go to Shenzhen, back in 2017, they already had facial recognition cameras there. So if you jaywalked in Shenzhen, they would immediately detect that and send you a notification, and they would deduct money from your what they call WeChat account. They use two main apps, WeChat and Alipay. So you can actually deduct your money directly from your account. This is 4 years ago, so this is not like some sort of conspiracy theory. It's not something that's going to happen 10 years into the future. This happened pre-corona in China. And so this system in China that exists is extremely advanced. They can detect if it's a man or a woman. They can guess your age. They can detect what kind of car model it is, who the manufacturer is. This is a sort of technology that we see in all these dystopian sort of films and whatever. And people keep putting it off and thinking that this is something that's going to happen later in my kids' lifetime or my grandkids. It's already here. And if this gets implemented anywhere, especially in a Western nation, it's not going away. Israel is already talking about the fourth shot. Then they're going to be going to herpes, and they're going to ask if you're gay. They're going to be asking if you ate 3 pizzas this week because it's unhealthy. If you buy certain books in certain countries, your country doesn't like you. You'll lose points in the social credit score system. So this is already the reality of the world in certain places, and we need to be aware of that if we don't want that or if we do. And to be perfectly honest, anybody who wants this vaccine passport, it's a misnomer. It's total control. Everything you do or don't do will be calculated. To the point where if they can detect your GPS signal, if you have a phone on you, they can detect who you're hanging out with. Oh, you're hanging out with somebody that said something bad 9 years ago on Weibo. Okay, like a Chinese equivalent to Facebook or something like that, right? Oh, you lose 2 points. Oh, you bought Japanese books. You lose 5 points because you don't like Japan. This is what is going to come here because it's already there.
And we're doing that a little bit with contact tracing for COVID, aren't we? So that they can see where you're at and who you're with.
The simple reality is that the technology that CSIS has and all these big tech corporations, they already know where you are. It's just that they don't want to shock the system too much and admit that they have it. Edward Snowden revealed all this back in 2013. He fled to Hong Kong. They wouldn't keep him there, so now he's in Russia.
Yeah.
But the NSA has all of your information. They know your Google searches from like February 9th, 2004 in a bunker in Colorado.
Help me, Rhonda.
Right? They have all this information. So, but they don't, like in the US, they have the Fourth Amendment. They're not supposed to track you forever.
This is a normal day in the life of Chinese school children. Biometric scans using facial recognition to enter the school premises and begin the school day. This seems like something out of a dystopian sci-fi film, but for Chinese school kids, this is an everyday reality. Again, another face scanner to pay for lunch using Alipay's One Face Pass to scan the child's face and deduct funds from the parent's account.
But still people will accept it.
Governments never promote digital ID as control. They call it convenience. They call it safety. They call it progress. Take the United Kingdom. The new Brit card is being proposed as mandatory by 2029. Politicians say it will fight illegal immigration, stop fraud, and make access to public services smoother. Optional at first, but we all know what happens later.
Now, you will all have issues in your own countries. But in Britain, it's illegal migration. And I suspect that may be the same in a number of other countries. For too many years, it's been too easy for people to come here, slip into the shadow economy, and remain here illegally. Because, frankly, we've been squeamish about saying things that are clearly true. It's not just that it's not compassionate left-wing politics to rely on labour that exploits foreign workers and undercuts fair wages, but the simple fact that every nation needs to have control over its borders. We do need to know who is in our country. Our immigration system does need to be fair if we want to maintain that binding contract that our politics is built on. And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free-of-charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. Because decent, pragmatic, fair-minded people, they want us to tackle the issues that they see around them. And of course, the truth is, we won't solve our problems if we don't also take on the root causes, looking upstream to tackle poverty, conflict, climate change, issues that aren't just intolerable for those of us who care about inequality and injustice wherever it's found in the world, but which have clear consequences for our own citizens.
Here is the reality: the same system that promises inclusion is also a system of exclusion. If your access to food, travel, education, and even your freedom of speech depends on a single digital identity, then one mistake, one decision, one switch can erase your life.
This is just one part of a much bigger story, and the story is still pending. If you want to know how deep this goes, stay with us. Like this video, leave your thoughts below, and prepare for what's next.